If you want people to care about you, you have to give them a reason. You have to show them who you really are. Even though you're afraid who you really are can never be good enough.
What are you, a motivational speaker?
No, I'm a voice of experience. I didn't come to Port Charles to wreck my mother. I wanted her to love me. I told myself that Bobby was going to see me, and deep down, something in her would recognize me. But that didn't happen. She treated me like the stranger I was. Bobby didn't mean to reject me, but that's how I felt. So yeah, I decided that I was going to take everything from her. I was going to live her life better than she could. Does that sound familiar? Because that's what you're trying to do to me.
Speak up or forever hold your peace. What did Carly do to deserve this, Nelle?
I didn't do anything. No, I welcomed you into my home, into my family, and I trusted you, but I guess no good deed goes unpunished, right?
She was working you, she was working all of us. You don't go to all that trouble unless you have a goal in mind. What was it, Nelle?
You know, I'd like to know that myself.
Well, why don't you start by asking my real last name? It's not Hayes. It's Benson. Ring any bells? Should. It was your last name, too. Caroline. But we have a lot more in common than just our last name.
Oh my God, you're Frank Benson's daughter. Almost for the same reason. I was supposed to recognize you.
Why didn't you?
You always do this. Do what? Anytime I do something you don't like, you compare me to Frank. Well, you know what, Mom? He left before I was 4 years old, so I doubt I picked up much from him.
You know, Frank wanted to be rich more than anything else in his life. He was always taking shortcuts and making deals and waiting for this big payoff that never came. But see, Caroline, I never minded because I had a good job. And I had you. But then Frank couldn't deal with his failures, so he just ran away.
So you're saying I'm gonna fail?
I think that you're making the wrong choices. You know, going to Paris and Rio, that won't make you happy.
Well, I'll let you know after I've been there.
You know, maybe my life is a little bit limited for you, but before you go out there to discover something better, start figuring out what better actually means.
Well, maybe Frank knows.
I doubt that.
You know what? Maybe he's rich.
Oh, I doubt that too.
And you know what? He could have made it big after he left. And even if he didn't, even if he's just ordinary, he still owes me a lifetime of child support.
Well, you're gonna have to find him to collect it, assuming that he has it, which is highly unlikely.
Where is he, Mom?
How would I know?
You're right. You never cared to find him. Never wanted to. But I know that he was friends with Mr. Richardson.
Ken's not gonna be able to tell you anything.
Well, it can't hurt to ask.
You should have known it was me. You should have welcomed me as your sister.
We are not. We're not related, Nelle.
You can't even say the word, can you? Sisters. But no matter how much you hate it, how much you wish it wasn't true, we have the same father. Carly, that makes us sisters.
Frank Benson wasn't my father, okay? He was the loser who married my adoptive mother and ghosted before I had a chance to get to know him. Thank God. I met Frank all at once in my entire life when I tracked him down to a crap apartment in Miami to get a fraction of the 14 years worth of child support he never paid my mother.
So he wasn't your father until you needed money.
I never got a dime from him. Hell, I didn't get one thing from Frank.
Yeah, except my kidney.
I did not know you were Jocelyn's kidney donor, okay? I didn't even remember that Frank had a daughter.
That's a lie. Carly, you knew. You saw me.